I see the same problem, and it's a big one, big one. When people sit down to practice, they want to achieve perfection. Let's say the exercise is to read a paragraph out loud, and they will read it 48 times, wanting to hear perfect reading in their recording. Even though they started reading out loud just yesterday, even though they learned the basics of the rhythm of English just last week, this week, what they expect of themselves is to deliver a perfect reading. And they expect themselves to have mastered the rhythm of English and the melody of English in just 1 week. It is impossible. People are so not ready to experience failure, to experience contrast, and to experience anything that's unwanted in their practice. Practice is not possible without failures and without contrast. The biggest contrast I'm talking about right now is pain and pleasure. Being satisfied with your own results and being completely dissatisfied. I have developed a rule that helps you get out of the stuckness, because striving for perfection and being stuck in the cycle of recording yourself over and over again, hoping to get rid of all of your mistakes in just one sitting, creates so much frustration that it overwhelms you, and then you start hating the exercise, and this is not where we want to go. So I have developed an exercise. I would say it's a rule. I have developed a rule that helps people get out of this state and make their practice a lot more productive and enjoyable. And here is the rule. The rule goes, you have to know your number. What does it mean? Think about working out. You probably do a number of exercises in your workout, and every exercise consists of a certain number of reps and a certain number of sets. Let's say you do squats. If you lift heavy, you will probably do 3 sets of 5 reps, right? Or maybe you do 3 sets of 15 reps. Depends on the weight you're working with. But you know very well that you will need to do only 15 reps and you will need to do only 3 sets, and then you're done. What if we apply the same rule to practicing our English skills and to practicing our cognitive skills in a foreign language? Here is what most students do, and they do it incorrectly. They sit down to do the exercise, and they know that they will be receiving feedback. So the result of the exercise should be a recording of themselves, either an audio or a video recording. Anyway, something that they will send to their coach, which is to me or any other coach in our community. So they feel the responsibility to send something, and they want to send something perfect. And they will sit there, never knowing when the exercise is going to end. You see how frustrating that is already? You have no idea how many iterations it's going to take you to achieve perfection. How long does perfection even take? This is just thinking about it makes you feel doomed. This is not where we want to go. So instead of telling yourself, I'm just going to sit here until I'm perfect, until I've achieved the perfect result, which can mean forever. Nobody wants to do an exercise forever. You don't want to do your workout forever, right? You want to know that you do 3 sets, 15 reps, and you're done. You need to know your number. It's easy to identify your number when you do the reading exercise. When you practice reading out loud, read 1 paragraph if you're advanced. If you're just starting out, read 1 sentence, because even 1 sentence requires a lot of work. You need to think where you want to pause. You need to check the pronunciation of every word. You need to remember your vowels. You need to think about intonations. Am I going up or down? Where is my pitch? Where is my melody? It's a lot of work. So read 1 sentence and then read it again. Listen to yourself. Correct your mistakes, read it again. Listen to yourself. If you have a chance to listen to a native speaker reading the same sentence, let's say if you're doing the shadowing exercise, or if you're trying to learn about the melody and the rhythm by imitating a native speaker, perfect. Listen to them and then listen to yourself. Compare the 2 recordings and do it again and correct your mistakes. And then do it again with the intent to correct the mistakes that you've identified. Do it again. And then start noticing how you're feeling about the exercise. I want you to know when you're feeling tired. Let's say you've done it 6 times and you feel like, oh my God, I can't do it anymore. You are already tired, and that's okay. You're looking for your number. What I want you to learn about yourself is, how long does it take for you to get tired? How many times do you need to read the same sentence or the same paragraph out loud until you get tired? And you need to stop right before that, 1 step before that. Let me give you an example. My number is 8, meaning if I read the same paragraph, and usually I read more than 1 paragraph. If you listen to any episode of Natalia Reads, it's a 10-minute recording, at least. That's way more than one paragraph. It's a few pages usually. So if I read the same thing 8 times, I'm tired. And when I'm tired, I can't be productive anymore. And when I'm tired, every next iteration is worse. When I'm tired, iteration number 56 is actually worse than iteration number 4. So what's the point? There's no point in doing that. It takes 8 iterations for me to get tired, which means I do no more than 7. 7 is my number. Even if I haven't achieved the perfect result and have already done it 7 times, I stop. That's it. It doesn't mean that I have to do 7 iterations every single time. I can do 2, I can do 4, I can do 5, I can do 3, but I cannot do more than 7. And here's why. Listen very carefully. When you know that you have only 7 iterations, only 7, you do the exercise with a completely different energy. Here is what's going through my mind as I do the exercise. Let's say I read it once. I have only 6 attempts left. I read it one more time. I have only 5 attempts left. Only 4 left. Only 3 left. Oh, I better focus. Because I have only 2 attempts left. I can't do more than 7. So I better focus on what I'm doing. I better do it right. Can you feel the difference? You do it with a completely different energy. You focus differently. You concentrate differently. You know very well that after 7 iterations, you're going to be done. And the exercise is going to be completed. You don't have to sit there and wait for perfection to happen. Because it's not going to happen. And maybe after 7 iterations today, you're still going to hear a really bad result. And that's okay. Remember to do the self-evaluation exercise at the end. We have a self-evaluation protocol in the community. You can download the PDF and go through the questions. Because every time you fail, you're also learning something about your learning skills and about your cognitive skills. The most important thing you're learning is that you're developing your capacity to cope. Because your capacity to learn is in direct correlation with your capacity to cope. And today, unfortunately, so many people have a very poor capacity to cope. They're not able to accept feedback, and they're not willing to experience any negative emotions. Any feedback is seen as criticism. They just want to be praised all the time. They want everything to be fun and easy. They don't know how to deal with their own anxiety. They don't know how to deal with all the negative emotions that come up when the exercise itself or the coach reminds them of the fact that they know what they should be doing and they're not doing it. They're still not doing it. It hurts like hell. It's very painful. To become better learners, we need a really, really good capacity to cope. That's why I talk about the importance of self-regulating your inner state so much. Because everything is here. How you look at the task will define how you're going to complete the task and how much satisfaction you're going to get from performing the task. And that's another thing. A lot of people want to perform. They have no idea what it means to practice. They hold themselves to an unattainable standard that they have to perform every single time they sit down to practice something. No, when you practice something, you're not expected to perform. Again, think about working out. Think about athletes. They practice every single day, but they perform maybe once every 6 months or once every year when they go to competitions. This is when they perform. But every single day, 6 days a week, they practice. Know your number. Enjoy your practice. Because if you don't know your number, your practice will not be as enjoyable as it should be. And do the self-evaluation exercise so you can see how your learning skills, how your cognitive skills, and how your capacity to cope is improving. What's your number? Leave a comment.